this for the tailbone, we did this for the sacrum, we did the lunge for the low back, we did that for sort of like the middle part of your spine, ribs. So we're kind of like opening things up there from the bottom up. And next is sort of the upper spine and the neck. And what we want to do for that is we're going to do sort of a twist where we're on the floor. So you can maybe I'll show you how to do this. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay on your side. Maybe let me just demonstrate. You're going to lay on your side, and I'm on my left side. And you're going to reach you're going to have your legs sort of at your hips, sort of at a 90-degree angle. See, I'm at roughly 90-degree angles here. And you're going to have your hand, sort of this crook of your hand, so that it matches up with your knee there. And then you're going to lay down on your side. And then you can have your hand, this hand on your ribs. Or if your elbow will touch the floor, you can just let your arm fall all the way down here. And ideally, you kind of want to keep your knees, if you can, keep them sort of like, as opposed to like that, or keep them like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start to slowly, we're going to twist our head. And you're not rolling, I'm not sliding my head on the mat here. It's like a fingerprint, when they take fingerprints, they kind of like make sure every part of your thumb, your finger contacts we're going to roll our head like that. Don't do this. Do this like it's a fingerprint. Just roll it around. And so, what's that? I would think more about your head and just kind of let your shoulders be where they want to be. But we're going to work our way from this side all the way to this side as far as we can kind of go. And then once we get as far as we can go, then we're going to kind of come back to the center, and that will be where we're done. But the thing is again, we're going to do this really slowly. And we're going to pay attention to each little increment. Again, there might be stuff that we tap into, and so pay attention to each little increment as we go along. And breathing up your spine to help your nervous system connect with what's happening there. So kind of have your knees and your hips and everything at a 90-degree angle, roughly. Your left arm sort of find a way so that your left arm can sort of, so that part right above your wrist can fit, kind of match up with your knees. Maybe bring your knees up more or something. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That would be hard to make your arm longer. Yep. And let your right hand rest on your ribs, or if your elbow is on the floor, then you can just let your hand flop down. But if it's not, I'd keep it on your ribs. And just slowly, and close your eyes and breathe, and slowly start to turn your head to the right. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Very, 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 very slowly. Like 10 times slower than that. Like really, 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 really slow. So that maybe if someone watching you would be like, are they moving their head? I'm not sure. And we're going to take a fair amount of time to just rest and turn our head and breathe and notice what happens with each little increment. and play. Play with what happens. Look at it as play. I might lighten things up a little bit. And again, stopping, you might stop anywhere where you notice something happening. You might tap into some things and notice, oh, I noticed something unraveling there. Maybe stay around in those spots for a few breaths, or maybe notice places where you might tend to skip over. You might want to go back and check that out, see what's in there. So I have about made it halfway, and I'm looking straight up at the ceiling right now. Just remember to keep breathing and checking in with places that you might notice different things. I'm probably like 75% of the way now. 80% of the way. And once you feel like you've kind of got your head turned as far as you feel comfortable turning it, then you can start to kind of come back to the center. You can come back faster than you went over there. And you can start to maybe you can start to roll over onto the other side, because we're going to do it on the other side. Maybe bring your knees to your chest, maybe. Sort of give your low back a little rest there. Then kind of come on to the right side in the same way. So, kind of ideally, your torso is in a 90-degree angle with your hips and your legs. Then your upper legs are at a 90-degree angle with your lower legs. Kind of reach with your right hand towards your knee so that that top part of the part of where your wrist meets your hand, that kind of is able to wrap around your knee. And then put your left hand on your ribs. And if your elbow is touching the floor, you can just let your arm unfold and hand fall towards the floor. Otherwise, kind of maybe keep it on your ribs. And you're looking to the right now with your head, your right cheekbone on the floor, and then slowly start to turn your head to the left, just like we did on the other side. With your eyes closed, keep breathing, noticing all the little increments and what might come up with each little increment, hanging out anywhere where there's maybe stuff coming up or interesting things going on. Maybe a quarter of the way. Probably halfway there, looking up at the ceiling. If at any point when your left elbow ends up touching the floor, you can let your hand just flop down and open your arm and let your hand rest on the floor. Probably about 75% there. Once you kind of feel like you're getting to the end, wherever that is for you, start letting your head come back towards looking straight up. And you maybe want to turn over to your back and bring your legs to your knees when you're ready. Your knees to your chest, excuse me. And then when you're ready, you can come back slowly seated on your little nest.